All right, so for a limited time, the Titanic is sailing through the tri-state, and you can get immersed in all the history of one of the most world's famous ships.
Yeah, so Ken is kicking it downtown with a look at that exhibit. My question to you, Ken, is if we were stuck on a raft in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, are you going to make room for Amber and I?
No one's getting on. No one.
So
One survivor. All right, guys. We're at the Titanic exhibit down here in downtown. They just threw me off, John. John.
Welcome aboard the Titanic, Ken.
Yes. Tell us what happens here.
So you're going to experience Titanic like never before.
Yeah.
The lore, the culture, the ship itself, an incredible story around her sinking, exploration of the wreck, and you become a passenger on board. I've picked two passengers for you.
Okay.
Benjamin Guggenheim and Charles Light-Toller.
Okay.
So first-class passenger and a crew member. We'll see what happens as we go through the exhibit to them. This is an original travel poster that would have hung in travel agents' offices around the world. Buy your tickets for Titanic. This is really what the whole story is about, is the Titanic. But we also want you to experience some of the lore, some of the magic from the movies. We've got the great King of the World shot, which you did earlier.
Yes.
You did a great job.
And I have to tell the viewer, I lied, guys. I actually went through the whole thing because I'm a Titanic fan. I'll just go ahead and say it. It's better than the movie. Like, you really go on this weird journey, like, where you're like, this is educational. And then you get to a part where it's like, whoa, I'm immersed and it's emotional.
That's, I mean, and he means it.
I really do. I wouldn't say it. Like,
it's incredible.
For sure.
I mean, and here, speaking of the movie.
Yes.
The Heart of the Ocean.
Which, that's not a real thing, right? The Heart of the Ocean?
Heart of the Ocean is not a real thing, but we have a replica here. We've got some other pieces from the movie. These are wax teacups that were used in the backs of the dining room scenes and also in the floating scenes, a little clever
and we should
movie
tell
magic.
You actually have real artifacts.
We have real artifacts from the ship, which we get into here. Here's one. It's an original brochure from Titanic that shows the whole cutaway of the ship, so you can... You know, people love to show how big it was and all the stuff that was going on. There was so much talk about unsinkable, largest ever. So that's always in the public consciousness, even today. Something that people don't know a lot of people don't know, is that White Star Lines actually built 3 ships.
3 ships? I didn't know this.
Three
all
identical
of them were
ships.
The same, right?
Yep, the Britannic was built 3rd. It was a hospital ship commissioned in World War I. The Titanic, of course, and the Olympic. They're all 3 identical ships. 2 of them sank within 2 years of their being created. The Olympic sailed for 34 years.
And we were saying, well, you were telling me the parent company, they just kind of had bad luck with when it came to ships,
I mean,
right?
clearly the Olympic class of ships built by White Star Lines did not fare very well. Only one of them really was able to be a ship for very long. We learned about the construction of the ship in this room. We have some great artifacts, from rivets to photos of the designers. This is a really interesting piece. This timekeeping chit was used by the workers at Harland and Wolff in the shipyards. They had to turn it in order to get paid every week. If they lost that chit, there was no pay. So that's kind of how they punched in and out.
Well, that's awful.
Yeah, I mean, conditions were tough for those guys, and we discussed that in this room.
And this early 1900s, right? We're talking maybe
1909,
late 1800s.
yeah, early 1900s. And here we want to introduce the villain, the iceberg.
Yes.
The iceberg was actually formed the same year Titanic's construction began.
Wow.
Which is, talk about a twist of fate.
It really is.
You know, here we are celebrating the greatest ship ever built, and there's an iceberg already waiting to take it down.
All right, this is where we're going to end this first part of Live Shots, because we're actually going to go onto the ship coming up at 8:45, right?
We're about to board the Titanic.
Okay, let's give people some information. How long are you going to be in town? How much do tickets cost?
Through spring,
yes,
for sure. Hopefully longer with support. Expo-titanic.com is the best place to get tickets.
Yeah.
And you can get them. We're open every day except Tuesdays.
Okay.
We're on West 4th between Race and Vine.
Starting tomorrow, you guys can come here. Okay, anything else before we jump out of here?
Better than the movie.
It is. Catherine, I
Ken
swear.
said it.
It really is. Like, I thought that it was going to be kind of like, oh, that's nice, look at that screw and stuff. But as we go through, you'll be like, holy cow, they really did a good job, and this is in Cincinnati.
Well, even just what's behind you right now, I mean, it looks like you're getting on the ship right there.
I'm going away.
And even when you were at the bow earlier, I want to say, it looked pretty cool. So bye.